Hello and welcome to All My Art and Soul. I'm Michelle Holden, the artist behind the channel, and we are, believe it or not, at part 5 of a journey of these 3 paintings. And so I've been a little bit under the weather, and I don't know if you can tell by my voice, it's not the same, but I am just going to plow ahead anyway. So and I hope you enjoyed my affirmation art journaling page last week. That was in a lot of blues and greens. I really love that color. Sort of reminds me of key lime. Anyway, more of those coming in the new year. But it allowed me to let these rest for a while, and I've been thinking, well, why? Why can't I? I've lost the flow of it, of course, and this happens. And I'll also leave a comment when you sort of are going with these wonderful pieces or not, and then you lose the flow. How do you get back on that flow? And I just have to sit and be with them for a while. And so I did that today. What I did last week was pick out some possible next collage pieces, which I'm gluing down right now, because these pieces I find are very complex, for me, and I think that's because I wanted to lay on so many layers to cover up in order. The purpose was to then go back and cover them up. There's another technique that I want to try that I still might do on these paintings, but then I would have to go back again to bring some bright color back into these certain areas. So I don't think I'll do it. And if you are liking this channel, liking the content, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and also hop on over to the Facebook group. I know last week I didn't really show my face because I was so sick, but this week we're good. We're getting there, and I have some brand new stencil girl stencils to show off. So I think they're just about 4. I should probably order a great big batch just because of our delivery charges are so much these days, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so the need to quiet down, but how do we do that? Do I keep going with black? No. I really want a combination. And I'm feeling the contrast of the dark and the light are sort of going through I don't want to say a battle, but in a way it is. And I'll just keep adding slowly. I really have to slow down at this, I call it this late middle stage. And I learned to call it this way from a wonderful, I think it's New Zealand, I believe, not Australian, New Zealand artist Judy Woods. And I've been following and learning from her for a long time. And so it's working with the contrast, there's that one, that little square there, that face that's whatever. And I really think it's taking away, or I don't know what it's doing. I'm liking the energy, and I'm liking maybe the message that's going on. I'm not sure if she's going to stay, at least in that size. So as you can see, I'm putting down some yellow oxide, I believe. It has a little more yellow in it. And just gradating this rectangular area to make it lighter. And today what I did, I sat with all 3 of them, so stay to the end because I do work on all 3. I like to sort of an even stage as I go, even progression through the different stages. And sort of that hexagon black and yellow piece, I think is really working better than what was showing underneath it. There's a few hairs, so I like to use that needle. That's a big canvas needle, those packs of those huge needles that you buy at the sewing store. So, and I'm noticing too, as I was adding some paint, there's some bubbling there. That's just from a science magazine, so I just love to put in those elements. And I'm adding yellow, but yet I want to take away some. It's too yellow. I want it a little closer to the paper around that square with the arrows. I'm liking those black lines on the newsprint paper, which is made just from a toothed wedge. You can make them yourself, but you have to be careful, especially if you're using them on your jelly plate printer. And I'm liking that much lighter tone there. So I'm liking the subtleties that are going on between the neutrals here. And as just before I started this voiceover, I was looking at of course, editing the photos of the very last stage, and those orange sort of ladder type lines, horizontal, going upward. I don't know if there seems to be so much of those. I don't think they're necessary there. And I think I might cover those. And don't forget the topography of them will still be there. So the texture, it's actual physical texture. And I noticed on this, you can see the turquoise, the teal underneath there. I'm thinking two of the paintings need more teal because the one at the end ended up with more teal on it, with red and orange and yellow, and it's really looking good as I quiet down a lot of the areas. And those blackened orangey areas too might get a lot more quieting down now that I can, just look at it a generation away here while I'm doing my voiceover. This is the great thing. And I really need to go back and look at some of my more successful pieces on my YouTube channel and just study those processes that I did and go, oh yeah, that's right. And this is the transparent white from Liquitex. And I talked about this last week, and a subscriber did mention, and it was in the back of my mind, that the words "the line" were too much in your face there. So they're still there, but I like how I push them back. Now this will dry a little more transparent, so I think it'll be just right. Just so it's not the first thing you see. And I can see once I take away those orange verticals, as I started to cover them a little bit, I liked the more calm in that area. So we will definitely try that out. And I don't know how many more stages these are going to go. I think one or two more. And this has been the longest set, which is great because, I'm just putting more. Oh, and I love the half. So now there's so many circles, which are great, but you see how they're very similar in size. So I might need to, I know I will need to address that issue. So just how, I don't know yet. Maybe some turquoise where those 3 circles on the left, I might do something different. And of course, pencil lines are always a great way to finish up. And then I'm going to move along to the next one. Okay. And it's such a beautiful sunny day in the studio. And I usually, when it's like this, the lighting for the video is so nice. And I have white blinds, like I'm sitting right next to the window and I have to put those down, but it disperses the light so nicely. as long, and I still have the table lights. So yes, I sat that there for a long time, and if I still like it, then I know it has to go there. The only change that I'm going to add is continue that beautiful parchment or that neutral all the way to that curve. I don't know if I'll continue the turquoise circles, but definitely that shape. And which is great, which is interesting. I had those down on there, but I forgot where I wanted to put them. So I'm starting from scratch today, and that is totally fine. Oh, so there's a lot of orange. There's just a lot of stuff going down on the lower right-hand corner or quadrant that I'm not really too thrilled about. That lower corner, I know I've changed that so many times. I love my piece of burlap. And I think I might need to add some burlap in the other ones, but in a different way. I'm trying to have a common thread. Yes, those had to go, I remember. And I love this transparent deli paper. And I know when I use it with the jelly plate printer, you have to be careful because it is on the thin side. I think tracing paper would work better, but oh well. So realizing that there's just too much orange down there. It's too the same. So I'm going to add some black. At least I think I'm doing that now. Oh, yes, I am. I should have moved my palette over so you can see what I'm doing, but I'll talk you through it. Yes, that is looking much better. And I scratched through it, and then I don't really like it. It looks better, more solid. And I was thinking of straightening out that big circle, the one that I'm painting the edge now, but I really liked how it's sort of wonky, you know, roughly cut. So I'm going to leave it. And then, of course, that's just a negative shape. That's been trying to find its way for a long time. That's okay there, but it did bubble with water. I know I put the pipe a little bit into the water to clean it off, and I forgot to dry it. And then realizing that, no, it's too close in size to the circles opposite of it. So I'm going to get the little copper pipe. I didn't like the ratio. And of course, it's nice and dry. I'm going to just put it right in the middle. Perfect. I love that. Making sure my mic is close enough. Okay, so we have that beautiful parchment rectangle in the middle. Now, the red vertical piece, that's cloth. And it started off really well. But as I go more, there's my new stencil girl. I'm so excited. Stencil. And I'm not going to use them on these because, of course, they're busy enough as it is. But I do use this one. This is the coolest. I go abstract shapes and circles. Now, I could have spent over $100 on stencils. Could I warrant that? I don't know. I still have trouble doing that. Anyway, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. There's some beautiful stuff. So I was trying to, my purpose here was to eliminate the busyness, but I still wanted texture, and I wanted it different from, you know, all the other ones around it that were too similar. And I like what it did, but I don't think the black is working, so I'm going to come in later with a little bit of, yes, I'm going to come in now with a little bit of yellow oxide and black, and it'll just lighten it up a bit. So I'm just trying, there it is. I'm just trying to match it. And using a cosmetic sponge, just so there's a slight difference, but I still wanted it subtle. So I didn't want to interfere with the whatever composition this is for now in this area. And of course, there's that little red square of fabric over there as well, which I just think I put just a thin layer of black on it, so you still see it. Yeah, it's looking much better, quieter, without anything there. So that's all it needed. And I think scratching more of the top area there, and then I do eliminate that orange circle just because there's so many of them here. Oh, I love that. You see, when you put the deli wrap on, when you just make it with lines, you can use paint. I think paint is better than ink, just because, see, that would have looked good there. I missed that. Maybe that's where I intended to put that. Anyway, I put it over here instead. I have more. Now, why this works is it's a more intense yellow. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can see the difference. Yes, it's way better. And it does bring the eye down and around there, where that just orange just sits there. It doesn't really do much. Yeah, for sure. And I like the overlapping. Oop. There we go. This is so neat. I get to critique my work while I'm making this video. So what do you think? Oh, there we go. See, this happens. Yes, I have discussed I need new X-Acto knife blades, and I tend to start slicing before it's dry enough, but that's okay. That's just a tiny little corner, and I have the yellow. So I just chose to just let it dry some more, and then I just make that little repair. Yeah, there's the same paint right there, mixed with a little bit of yellow oxide. Because that one, which I forget which yellow it is, and I will put, I think last week I forgot to put the colors in the description. So if any of you are wondering, just look in the comments below, and that's where I put all the colors and type. Right now, I'm for these types of paintings, I'm using the Liquitex Basics, and it's a nice full body. And that's what I was thinking. So what I was thinking is I'll spray some more alcohol over there, just so I can lift and scratch it a bit more, and I think that'll be a nice difference on this piece. But yet I do end up covering that orange circle there, and just keep it like another windows into all these windows. That's sort of they're really not windows, they're just, I guess, dimensions, energy. What am I trying to say? Frequencies, all of these different things happening around us that we're not even aware of. A lot of people are, but a lot of people are not. All the things that have been hidden and going on around us. It's pretty cool stuff. Pretty amazing time to be alive right now. And those of you who may have common or know what I'm talking about, yes, sirree. And that's the cool thing about abstract art, because it comes out what you're thinking or processing or going through, or it's such a reflection of your inner self. It's pretty cool. So I think right now I'm looking at that orange circle and I'm going, okay, you're gone. Ugh, right away. It's like, so I'll turn it sideways there so I can make a nice clean line. And a lot of the times when I do this unintentionally, after I've chosen the position of the painting, I'll discover a whole new position. And I think that's maybe what I should do with these, so I can just keep rotating them and just so they can find, or I can find where they need to go. Excuse me. Yes, so there we go. That was a good solution. So just that nice brushwork, carrying that, I really noticed that horizontal line coming all the way across would be interesting. And that yellowish square just above where I just painted, that, yeah, right there. That square there, of course, that doesn't go, but that needs to change. I don't know what color or color at all. So, or bringing the parchment, the neutral, all the way down to connect it. That's probably the smartest idea. And liking this little piece way better than it being black. So just trying to get the proportions correct. There we go. And I think once I cover the red, which I can see is driving me crazy, even if I do choose to use the parchment or neutral, then that'll have a total different effect on that half circle right next to it. So that's what you need to be careful with, or not. So changing, it's all cause and effect and response. You do one thing and then it changes another thing. And it's so cool. Yes. So I think, yeah, I can't wait to use that stencil. So once I get to the stage where nothing else is fitting here, I can't think of anything, then it's time for it to rest. And moving on to the third one, this is the one that I'm really loving, the direction of its colors. So, and I know it's way more colorful, only because there's a little bit more turquoise. Now there is some turquoise on the other ones, but not as, just not the same. This shape was very interesting, but it was too much for me, so I just wanted to make it asymmetrical. Loving the turquoise circles there. The spear of the sea. I just love those words, so I'm keeping them. And I'm loving the lines there going up and curving to the left, just above where I'm gluing that down. And then the sporadic black mark collage up there. Really nice contrast. So what I end up doing on this piece is I realize that it's so busy in the upper left quadrant that I bring down all of that neutral parchment all the way down to, see, that's too dynamic. It's just, whoa. So I bring some turquoise to the bottom, and it really is nice. It just was too thick. It needed to be narrower. I love letters. I love that E in the lower right-hand corner. It's really cool. Now with the turquoise lines, it's just adding just enough blue. And that punches the orange that much makes the orange more orange using your complementary color. So that was going to go there, but since I did put the blue, I don't think it's necessary. Okay. Yes. Not bad. I don't know if that'll stay black. I don't know if that works or not, but I'm liking how I'm changing the shape here. Definitely better. Just cleaning the edge. And then once I'm quieting that down with the black, I realize how busy the upper left quadrant is. There's so much going on, which is really cool, but it needs to be quieted down. Okay, great solution. I wasn't liking the black going all the way down there, so I just slapped that orange over it. It's perfect next to that neutral. At least I think so. Okay, what to do next? No, we do not need polka dots. That's not bad, actually. This curvy thing I've been trying to put it in here, and it's such an organic shape. So that's why it's not suiting. Now, that's sort of cool, but then there's too much competition there. I like those 3 hills. They need to be left alone. And I realized, no, I already have an E over there on the right. What am I thinking? And I'm always trying to find magazines with some big print like that. And I love this. This was, I don't even know how I got it that bright. Yes, just layers and layers of right out of the tube colors, I'm sure. So I'm looking at, that's not bad, actually. Oh, okay, I'm trying to figure out the direction. Actually, that's really cool. So I go for it. So after this is when I make the big move to do a lot of veiling. Oh, that's so much better. So that orange is then relating to some orange over there, but there's still too much. And I really like the angle, the slight angle going up and then across, just above that pink section. So right away I'm going, okay, what do I need? So I realized we don't need more bright color. We definitely need less. So then I just grabbed that and realized, yes, look at the effect. Now, how much will I go over? That's the thing. So I just do that, block that out. I was thinking of putting that piece of collage in, but it didn't need collage. It needed paint. Just plain, solid paint. That's the Parchment tracing paper. And so I think I'm going to grab the Parchment paint, which is a neutral. There's so many different names, but it's really amazing how different they can be. And I think I had to go hunt for it because that's the one color that fell off my table earlier. That's what I'm doing off camera. I should have, there we go. I went and found that one. I go, no, that's not it. That's not what I want. It's not what I need. So there it is. So we found it. Awesome. And here we go. So I'm going to leave the collage piece there, and I'm just going to come directly down. Right away, it's feeling so much better. Now, I'm trying to decide how far I'm going to go and how far over. Yes. And what I like about this, it's a slight angle. It's not straight. And what I should have done is used one of my paint guides, the painter's guides, to make those really cool, nice lines. I didn't need to, but today anyway. But if I'm not happy with how the edge is, I might want a super clean edge. And look, I came all the way down and over. Wow. Okay then. Adding just a little bit of white. So I'm just picking up that line. Yes, I really like that. Ooh. All right. That's even better. So what I'll do is I'll cover it a bit more. I love how that collage piece is just right in the middle now. May or may not add just a subtle. I'll probably go lighter with some kind of pattern or just a line or just leave it. With all the busyness. Now with that, now you see the left-hand quadrant has this alignment happening because we've narrowed it down, or I've narrowed it down. And what I intend to do is push those colors, the scratchy, all of that stuff, just add, I think, black, but just a very, very thin veil. And then I'll just wipe away what's necessary and it'll push that back. And it'll bring this really bright upper right-hand quadrant forward. And I love that. You see the diagonal? I don't have nearly enough diagonals in my work. I really love that. And that it's next to the turquoise. And that's why the dynamics of this one is really working. So I'm going to look at this. Of course, not make the other ones the same, of course. But yes, so it's really, really cool. So I was just experimenting with covering the words a bit. And no, they don't, since they're small enough, they didn't really need any veiling. So I'm really liking where this is, whatever stage this is. So here they are. I hope you enjoyed part 5 of a journey of 3 paintings. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Check out the Facebook group. Check out my store. I have a lot of things going on. And in the new year, there's going to be a lot more new things happening. So here's one of my favorites. So I will see you in the next video.